Guys, Mark the Local Scrubs here, and I am with.
Jared Turpin, it's nice to meet you.
And what place did you get today?
I got third place out of like a bajillion people.
And you were playing?
I was playing Zing's Master Race.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into it.
Okay, I'm going to lead off. First, I'm going to show the main man, Surani. I run 3 of him, and what he can do is, just like all the other Zings, is replace himself upon destruction, and when he's used as a material, he gives a bonus 5,000 power of defense and attack. So that's also really cool. So I actually always like to use him whenever I'm synchro summoning with.
My battery's starting to go down, so just try to be a little quick.
Okay. And then I use Bixie. Thanks to him, I can make him immune to trap cards. So he's always a great lead. And then I use 3 Bians. Thanks to him, I make my monsters immune from being destroyed by battle, which is really awesome, especially against Cruel Fort players or anything that's basically stronger than me, which is really rare. Here it gets really technical. Here's 3 Jaitos. Some people like to only want 1 or just 2. I like to max them out with 3, because that way you can get his discard effect faster. So if he ever gets destroyed, place him with him. Next turn, discard 2 from your hand, restart again with synchro, and continue on with the duel. Power through. And then, I run 2 Chai Wins. I used to run 3, but 3 just kind of felt cloggy and made no sense, so you can only use the effect once per turn. So I just dropped the deck down to 1. I mean, not 1, 2. And then I won 3 treasures. Well, not 3. 2 treasures, sorry. Thanks to him, I can actually basically just keep spamming synchro summons with him by turning Bayan or Surani into tuners, which gives them access to any level 7 or 6. And I explain more later which combos I can use with these. And then I use 1 Junk Synchron. I use Junk Synchron mostly just to get a level 2 basically from my deck. Oh, my graveyard, which is typically him. Either I go immediately for level 5 or I use him for somebody else. Basically get him destroyed somehow, way, shape, or form, and basically sync with something even better. And then I run 2 Masked Chameleons. Some people only want 1 or just none at all. It's better to have 2 no matter what, because most time you will get into a scenario where you pretty much lost everything, and he's a great restart for you. Next, I won 1 Julio. I used to run 2, but typically not many people actually play enough spell cards that would destroy my card anyways, so I kind of only want 1, and I can easily just get them out whenever I feel like it anyways.
With the amount of people that opted to play 2 Dark Hole and Raigeki in the main, do you think having 2 of those would have been a little more helpful today?
I thought about running 1, that's why he's in my side deck, but typically since it's so easy just to basically cycle him back out from the graveyard and back to the deck, there's no real reason to run more than 1, because it's just so easy to get him back in the deck.
Alright.
And plus, there are a lot of better options besides him, because there are a lot of other cards that can actually get around Dark Hole.
Yeah.
And plus, with Yang Zings, it's okay if something gets destroyed.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Now, I used to run 2 of him, but now only run 1 Taito. Taito's kind of irrelevant now, since Snatch Shield's gone, and not a lot of cards can actually steal your monster. But he's still a great 22 attacker, and he's a level 5. So he's just basically there for levels and a beat stick, basically. And then, I want to run Treasure. I used to run 2 with the fantasy of Pendulum Summoning, but Pendulum Summoning in this deck is pointless. So, I only won 1, and just about it, 1. And if I ever had to side out, I typically just side him out, because he doesn't really serve much of a major purpose besides searching his spells or traps.
Okay.
Next, off to my spell cards. I run 2 paths. I used to run 3 paths, but 3 was way too cloggy, especially early in the game. So I just run 2 now. Because by the time I get to the 3rd path, the duel's pretty much already over. 2 Dark Holes, because Dark Hole. 1 MST, because I don't really like Phoenix Chain. 1 Mind Control, because sometimes I want to use his monster instead. Because there are a lot of ranked ranked monsters instead, so I can't use it. But typically with the new meta, people now use ranks. Use levels now. So I just take him, and typically you always have some type of tuner on your field with you, so that way you can secret summon with it. Or, thanks to other monsters inside your extra deck, you can actually destroy it for your benefit. One soul charge. This is for all for nothing, basically. If I'm about to lose, I know I'm going to lose, I might as well just go for this and hope for the best. And then I run 3 creations. I used to run 2, then I learned creation's really broken. So, because creation has a really balling ability. So pretty much if you have one creation, let's say he dies, he gets destroyed, special summon him, synchro summon, or special summon him, synchro summon. So no matter what, you get a synchro summon on your opponent's turn, and it never gets suspected. So this card can easily be broken, and just pretty much be manipulated the whole entire time, and punish your opponent from destroying something. Next, 2 Phoenix Chains, because sometimes cards like Trishula and a bunch of other activation effects that I have no answers to, or I just can't get over, I have to Phoenix Chain it, and it's no, so yeah, I have to basically get rid of it.
What made you choose to run Chain over Breakthrough Skill?
The reason why I chose Chain over Breakthrough Skill is, yeah, Breakthrough Skill is really nice and you can use twice in the graveyard, but Chain stays on the field. And thanks to cards like Biaxia, I can just pretty much destroy Chain and get a free monster from the graveyard with no cost.
Alright.
And next, I have 1 Mirror Force. I used to run 2 Mirror Forces, but again, it's Zing, so I really want my cards to be destroyed. So I'm pretty much encouraging my opponent to just attack a monster.
And then just having that 1 Mirror Force there is just for good protection.
Yeah, because you can never be too safe in this meta now.
Yeah.
And then I won 1 Call of the Haunted. Typically, if I feel the need of it, I side out for 2 Call of the Haunteds. Because pretty much I never actually call the Haunted willy-nilly. I leave it here, wait for them to basically destroy it for me, flip it over, pick a Yang Zing, destroy the Yang Zing, and then summon again.
Yeah.
And then
It's really abusable in Yang Zing.
it really is, because pretty much if they're destroyed in any way, you get a Yang Zing, and they pretty much wasted whatever destruction card they had, and I got a free card on top of it. So they went negative while I went plus. And then I main deck Imperial Iron Wall. Most people side it. I want to main it just so I can abuse Chai Wen, because Chai Wen, if he uses effects, he'll be banished the second he leaves the field. So that way I can keep abusing it. I play Imperial Iron Wall and main deck it, so that way I can always have it. And plus, it blanks a lot of other decks in the whole entire meta, because pretty much everyone has some way, shape, or form of banishment. Even it range from Burning Abyss, Ritual Beasts, Infernoids, Necros, everyone banishes at one point.
Yeah.
So I might as well run it, just so I can screw somebody over, and no one expects it in the opening duel in the first turn.
And with today's event, like Ritual Beast was just everywhere.
Oh, Ritual Beast was everywhere. So pretty much I played that. The game's already in my favor. And now, for my favorite cards, Torrential Tribute, I played this one. This one. If it's in my opening hand, alongside with Creation, it's the greatest thing ever, and typically I win the game by that end. Because you basically wait for your opponent to spam the field, trip it over, boom, destroy all the monsters, Creation goes off, your Yang Zing goes off, play 2 monsters, synchro summon, do whatever you want, but pretty much you have monsters, your opponent just went negative by like a bajillion. And now, 1 Bottom's Trap Hole. I was thinking about running 2, but then I looked at the ban list, so I had to drop down to 1.
We all wish there could be 2 bottomless.
If I had an option, I went 5 bottomlesses if I wanted to. Because screw Konami. My deck, I pay taxes. I played 1 Jar of Avarice. I was debating with 2, but 1 jar is perfectly fine, because mostly it's an MST target or destruction target, because you can still activate it and send cards back to your graveyard, because typically your opening hand would consist of 2 other Yang Zings and Jaito, and thanks to Jaito, you will have 5 cards in your graveyard. So it's nice to have him in your deck, but having 2 of them will just clog up your deck too much. So I just run 1, sadly.
Alright, so main deck's 40 cards?
Yep. Maximum 40. If I feel like it, 41.
Okay. So we'll either go into your extra or your side deck first.
Okie doke. I'm gonna go with my extra deck, 'cause that's the most fun. Next, I play one Chow Fang. Some people run without it, some people run two. There's no real point. Chow Fang's only good for if you actually know what your opponent's doing. Other than that, that's about it really. He's just a vanity's emptiness. But also, his second effect, whenever a card is destroyed on your opponent's side of the field, you can summon a monster from your deck of whatever element that you use. So if you use Earth, Wind, or Darkness, you can summon Earth, Wind, or Darkness from your deck when your opponent destroys a card. Either you destroyed it yourself, or your opponent destroyed it by himself. So it's a really unpredictable card. Not many people know what he can really do. So the only downside is he's level 9, and Yang Zing's into level 9. You really have to go out of your way to do it. So unless you really want it, then it's good for you. But you can never just happen to get it unless you work for it. And then
Try to go a little bit faster.
sorry, I run 2 Biaxia, because Biaxia is pretty much a staple for any Yang Zing, but also an awesome ability. Bounce back cards equal to each different element that was used to summon her. And also, just like the reason why I play Iron Chain, or Phoenix Chain, is mostly because I can destroy any card on my side of the field, and special summon a Yang Zing card, not a Yang Zing card, but any monster from my deck onto the field that's level 4 or lower. So that's actually really cool. One Thought Ruler, because he's just a regular 8, and I really love Thought Ruler. And then I won 1 Clear Wing, 1 Moonlight, 2 Yazi. Yazi and Clearwing are always my strongest leads, because for one, everyone forgets that Yazi cannot be targeted. So if he can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by battle, and he's immune to spells or traps, your opponent's gonna have a really hard time with him. And thanks to him, I can destroy a monster. I can destroy 1 Yang Zing card I control, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. Which is why Junk Synchron and Bixie come into effect. And then I have 1 Clear Wing, because we all know what Clear Wing does. And with place of Clear Wing, make him immune to spell cards and make him immune to battle. Your opponent basically can't get over this thing unless they play a trap card. I play 1 Goyo because he's a great beat stick and his effect's not too bad either. And 1 Horus. Horus is really awesome because, like I mentioned with Creation earlier, you use Creation, special summon the Pendulum Treasure, and special summon Bayan. Use Bayan Treasure's effect, turn Bayan into a tuner, single summon on your opponent's turn. Take their newly summoned monster and put it over here, and your opponent's now in daze and they can't respond to it basically. And also the other effect of negate a monster effect. That's nice too.
The Horse is definitely a really underrated card, Synchro.
No one knows what it does, and it pops on the field. Everyone's like, "What? Wait, what?" And it's just a beautiful card.
Yeah.
Nothing is Starlight. Nothing's just another generic level 6 I use. Personally, I like Nothing because I can weaken my opponent's monster and inflict 800 points of damage.
Yeah, it's basically the Synchro version of Cowboy.
And plus, what's really special about him too, he does that when he's summoned.
Yeah.
So he's actually called a Haunted Being, so that's really nice.
Why Konami made it generic, I'll never know.
Konami, that was the one thing you did nice.
Yeah.
And then we have Catastor. The reason why I run Catastor is a long story, but pretty much I just like how he looks. His effects are relevant to me. And then we have Keeper, because sometimes I really have no answers to what my opponent can do in response. And plus I'm mirror matching. Your opponent cannot activate Yang Zing cards, basically. But I can, so that's really nice. Then for the final 2, Brawler. Brawl is really cool because you basically single summon him with a Chai Win or Bayan, make him immune to battle. So there's only one way to destroy him. And if he ever dies by a Dark Hole or something, I can special summon any monster from my deck in replacement for him. So that's always nice. Then Herald of Arclight, same goes with him. The only way I'm going to ever summon him is with Chai Win and Bayan, and making him immune to battle. So pretty much your opponent activates any card, I negate it. And they can't just attack it, so it's always going to be on the field. And thanks to Biaxia, he's actually a target, so you can special summon him back again over and over. so you can just keep using it.
Alright.
And that concludes my little extra deck. And my side deck, I don't believe my side deck that much, but when I do use my side deck, I lose. So, here's my side deck though.
So just try to go through it as quick as you can because I'm not sure about the battery.
Okay, I have Necro Valley because of banishment. 1 extra MST because MST. Extra Call of the Haunted, just in case they're really heavy on MSTs. 1 closer evacuation device for cards like Tower, and I just can't get over it sometimes. An extra Taito. An extra 1 Zing Brutality. This is mostly just Jaito bait. I would never actually use it for actual effects. 1 Forbidden Lance for yellows. This is just in case my opponent's going way too slow for me, because when he's destroyed, when he's in the graveyard, at the end of your turn, I can special summon him from my graveyard by destroying 1 monster in the field, which would typically be a Yang Zing. So I get a free level 4 and a free monster for my deck on top of that. So he's there for just accelerate things. And if my opponent's pretty much destroying all my extra deck monsters, I summon him, and he's pretty much a monster reborn. And making him immune to battle pretty much means your opponent basically has to use Dark Hole on him, or he's not going to win the game. 1 Upstock Goblin, because he looks cool. When Red Dragon Archfiend, he's just a powerhouse basically, in case I need more beef in the field. In case I really need more level 5s, 1 Ally Catastor. I don't main deck it because I actually want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And 1 Skill Drain, because I actually like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's not going to be my main deck. And that's my side deck.
Alright, so what were your overall thoughts on today's event?
So far I did really well. I lost to a Mermail player, which is fine though too, because we pretty much went even the whole entire time. The only reason why I lost basically is he pretty much kept bouncing back my cards back to the deck, so if it's not being destroyed, it's kind of worthless. But other than that, I had a pretty good turnaround basically, because no one really had answers to my whole entire deck, and the only answers they did have was counterproductive on their part.
Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.